Welcome to Roll for Geekiness. I'm Jonathan, aka Tigerfire Studio,
And Amanda?
and we just got back from NoCoCon. What's NoCoCon?
I hope we know. We went to it. But yeah, I get the gig. So NoCoCon is a small local Comic-Con in Watertown, New York that is held at the local arena.
And this was their third year, I
Yes.
think we gathered, of putting on this event. And seemed like a pretty solid event for it only being in its third year.
For a con in its third year, it was well organized and there was a pretty full schedule. So there were things to do or check out at any time of the day. At least when we went on Saturday, that was the case.
I think that was on Sunday too, looking at the schedule. Yeah. The main stage had stuff going on it all day long, and I think they had 4 or 5
a handful, yeah.
secondary stages in different spaces around the event where there were other things happening as well. So yeah, it was like you said, it was a very full schedule, and then there were some activities that were just kind of going on all day. Pretty large vendor space to wander through. Lots of, this sort of stuff you usually see at Comic-Cons and pop culture events. Nothing particular jumped out at me.
No. That being said, there was a good variety of things happening within the vending area too. And as a standard issue, there was a cosplay contest, which, having gone to a few different local cons now, I will say it was really well organized and ran really smoothly. People knew how to keep things moving and knew how to fill time when it was necessary. So really appreciated that as someone who is not competing but just sitting in the audience watching, that there was mindfulness around that.
Yeah, and there were quite a number of people either competing or just promenading during that portion of the event as well. There was quite a big turnout, which yeah.
I like the fact that from an inclusivity perspective too, there was a couple different categories for the cosplay contest, so you could just show up wearing something essentially pre-bought, but decide to be in character or do a little performance or just be there to kind of show your stuff off. And I think particularly in this day and age, cosplay has gotten really intense around the craftsmanship.
Right.
And not everyone has the money, time, energy,
skills, resources,
all the things
to compete at that level. So this was you're right, it was very inclusive in that you could just do the performance part. And I'd actually wanted to add that this is one of the few places where we've seen where there was also just a prop contest.
Yes, that was actually very cool, I thought.
Yeah, so if you just had a prop that you wanted to show off or get judged on, not the rest of the costume, like there was just a props contest, and that was unique. I think that's one we haven't seen much of, if at all, and definitely not an event that size.
I thought it was a great way to honor the fact too that people who make really intense or difficult props are not that I would know any of them, but put a lot of labor and effort and love into the props, and that doesn't always mean that person excels in every other form of craftsmanship just because they built an amazing prop.
Yeah.
So I really loved actually that part. That would be the one thing actually I think that I liked the best about the entire con, was the fact that there was a prop contest.
Yeah, that was a great idea. It'd be cool to see that catch fire a little bit throughout the community.
What else?
That said, I think you also thought that given how much cosplay that there was, I think we were both a little surprised at the Hall of Cosplay, which was a great way to make use of a weird hall, I don't know, the hallway to the locker room or whatever for this arena space. They set it up with all these different backdrops, and there was theoretically a photographer there. They left a sign-up sheet, like if you wanted to sign up for a photo shoot, but the photographer wasn't there. I don't blame them. There was nothing else going on in the hallway. They would have just been sitting around by themselves all day. But yeah, it felt like that could have been a really great opportunity for some other local photographers maybe to collaborate on that, and maybe hype that up a little bit, because there were just so many cosplayers there to just be like, got some cool backdrop back here and get some pictures real quick.
Yeah, I think that was an underutilized opportunity. I also don't know how actually true that is. I don't know how many people would take advantage of it if that were a thing that was available, but there was a good percentage of people cosplaying.
Yeah, what do you think it was? At least 50?
I would say 50. But
yeah, at least 50% of people there were probably in cosplay.
So it felt like that could be an opportunity to give, like you said, local photographers an opportunity to get some more experience, get some money, and give cosplayers an opportunity to get some cool photos when they've gone to the effort to show up.
Yeah, especially since, it can be hit or miss on how many photographers are available at some of the smaller conventions.
Totally.
So, we travel to conventions large and small. It's less of an issue for us, but if you don't have the opportunity to travel very far to an event, it might not be an opportunity that you would have the opportunity to do a photo shoot. So the fact that they had some space set aside for that there, and that it felt a little underutilized, I don't know, it speaks to something. Either it's a missed opportunity, or maybe it's just not a thing. I don't know.
I just like the idea so much that I think it could be something more.
Yeah, agreed.
And given that, as you said, they're only in their third year, or this was the third year, I think there's room to grow that, or figure out how to make that perhaps more of a thing. Mm-hmm. I think that's one of the things that local cons can do to make themselves stand out, is find one or two things that they are doing that's somewhat unique or cool, that's going to draw people in. Like the props contest, as we said, was a really good and unique idea.
Yeah, that said, they definitely drew in some special guests, mm-hmm. and some entertainment that, I don't know that we've been at any local events where there's been like a Twitch or YouTube, like a D&D group, like doing
mm-hmm.
an episode of their campaign. I think the
cool.
last time we saw something like that was at DragonCon a few years ago. So yeah, that's a fun thing to put up on stage, and people can watch that. And I think some people who follow that thing actually traveled pretty far to come to NoCoCon, because it was the first time that group had done a live show. So like that definitely brought in some attendees who might not have come otherwise. So like they kind of spread the gamut of the different entertainment options that were available, and I think that was well thought out.
Yeah, well done.
NoCoCon. 4 dirigibles out of 5. I don't know why I picked dirigibles.
I'm not sure either. Four oversized props out of 5.
Sure.
Shall we roll?
Got the table ready?
Yeah.
All right. 9.
Remember, kids, you can cosplay for the rest of your life as an adult if you never really grow up. Pro tip.